I apologize for the sound of my voice this week. I currently have the flu. I will be recording this week until I either heal or my voice gives out. But let's get back to our story. We need to back up a little bit to go forward. We went through the bankruptcy of Consolidation Coal Company. However, we did not cover very much about the Elk Horn Coal Corporation side of the story. Now we will go back to the court information that is available now concerning this bankruptcy and the surprising things that were hidden in the court case. Once again, we are turning to Justia U.S. law for this information. While they do use an AI for their summaries, they are the only source of the lawsuits that are currently available online. We are hopeful that one day the actual cases will be made available for everyone to view. All aboard the Kentucky Tennessee Living Time Machine. Please fasten your seatbelts and keep your arms and legs inside of the vehicle at all times. But to get going, we need your help. We still need to fire up that time machine to transport us. Please help us by clicking on the like, subscribe, and bell notification buttons down below. Not only does this fire up the time machine for our flight back in time, but it convinces the YouTube algorithm that we need a bigger vehicle to reach more people who love history as much as you do. Now, back to our story. Receivership. We have to go back to the year 1931 for this lawsuit to have taken place. Letcher County Court in Kentucky had prosecuted a suit in which Elk Horn Coal would be placed in the hands of Clarence Wayland Watson as the receiver. It is unclear how long this receivership lasted because in 1935 the corporation was once again in trouble due to an undisclosed debt. However, the outstanding capital stock, common and preferred, amounted to $18,600,000. In the bankruptcy case, the Elk Horn Coal Corporation went before the United States District Court for the Southern District of Ohio, Western Division. In this case, Watson was appointed trustee. In 1937, because of the reorganization under Section 77B of the Bankruptcy Act, 11 U.S.C.A., Section 207, Elk Horn Coal Corporation was now renamed to add the word "the" in front of the name. The reorganization was finally accepted and adopted by all concerned in the case. As agreed, there would be three types of stock sold for Elk Horn Coal: first preferred, second preferred, and common. For more information about this case, please review our Consolidation Coal Company bankruptcy case videos in this playlist. So, from this point forward, it is truly correct to say the Elk Horn Coal Corporation. But, for the sake of constantly repeating the entire name, we will call the company Elk Horn Coal, so it is not to be confused with Elkhorn Creek or Elkhorn City, Kentucky. Elkhorn Coal agrees to mortgage land. Because the reorganization was necessary, Western Pocahontas Corporation, a wholly owned subsidiary of the Chesapeake and Ohio Railway Company, loaned as an advance to Elkhorn Coal $1,500,000. In exchange for this money, Elkhorn Coal agreed to convey approximately 53,000 acres of land, containing approximately 42,000 acres of coal lands, with all mining plants and equipment that was needed to mine coal to the Western Pocahontas Corporation. The land was then leased back to Elkhorn Coal. Under the agreement, Elkhorn Coal had the option that the payments would be made over a 12-year period for the return of the land to the corporation for that amount of loan. Think of this like a mortgage. The Elkhorn received money for land that they mortgaged to Western Pocahontas Corporation for 12 years. We would like to add today's numbers in our videos to give people a perspective on how much money was involved in these transactions. According to the United States Inflation Calculator, from the year 1935 to the year 2024, The amount of $1,500,000 at a rate of inflation would be at 2,189.7%, leaving the total that would have been paid by today's money values at $34,345,510.95. Agreement on Elk Horn Coal's leadership. There was a gentleman's agreement between Clarence Watson, trustee of Elk Horn Coal, and Arthur B. Kuntz, administrator of Western Pocahontas Corporation. Even though Kuntz was one of those listed as an appellant against Elk Horn Coal, there seemed to be no conflict of interest between the two making this transaction. In the agreement, along with the loan to help Elk Horn Coal become solvent once more, it would be understood that Watson would remain as trustee and in control over the company. It was also understood that upon the death of Watson, that Kuntz would retain the control and management of Elk Horn Coal until the debt was fulfilled. With this understanding, voting trustees were appointed to help control Elk Horn Coal. The voting trustees received 120,000 shares of the common stock of Elk Horn Coal. The trustees agreed to issue the rightful owners voting trust certificates. The stock issued would be voted on by the trustees with the understanding that all stockholders of the trust certificates would have no say in how the company was run or vote or participate in its management. This agreement was due to end March 1st, 1947, unless the terms and provisions under the agreement were satisfied at a sooner date. Also, the written agreement was very lengthy as it accounted for every possible contingency, event, and occurrence. According to a quote from Justia U.S. law, it is further provided that, quote, any trustee or any firm of which he may be a member, or any corporation of which he may be a stockholder, director, or officer, may contract with the company, or he may be or become pecuniary interested in any matter or transaction to which the company may be a party, or in which it may be in any way concerned, as fully as though he were not a trustee. Unquote. Clarence Watson's debt. From the very beginning of the inception of the corporation in 1915, Clarence Watson had controlled the policies and management of the Elk Horn Coal Corporation. According to the source Justia, we have the following statement about the leadership of Clarence Watson. Quote, at a meeting of the Board of Directors of Elk Horn on June 10, 1937, the board, by resolution, determined Watson's indebtedness to Elk Horn as of March 1st, 1937, to be $219,000, and provided the same should be reduced at a rate of $3,333 per month, and that none of the said debt should bear interest. The resolution further provided that Watson be employed as president of Elk Horn for 3 years, commencing on March 1st, 1937. In consideration of the employment aforesaid, Watson was to receive, in addition to an annual salary of $18,000 and the reduction of his indebtedness above mentioned, 40,000 certificates and options thereafter to purchase a total of 60,000 additional certificates at 10 cents per share. It is admitted that pursuant to said resolution, a contract was entered into between Watson and Elk Horn carrying out the purposes of the resolution. On the same date, by the board, by another resolution, authorized the delivery of 20,000 certificates to Arthur B. Kuntz, and officers of Elk Horn were directed to take necessary steps to carry out and effectuate the resolution so adopted. Unquote. So, by this statement, we find that Watson was in debt to Elk Horn Coal for $219,000. According to the United States inflation calculator, from the year 1937 to the year 2024. The amount of $219,000 at a rate of inflation would have been 2,078.4%, leaving the total that would have been paid by today's money values at $4,777,686.88. Now, I don't know about you all, but I think that's a whole lot of money to owe a company. Because of this, Watson had to take a massive pay cut. According to these same numbers, $3,333 per month would equal a monthly payment of $72,605.93. But remember, there is no interest in this loan. Not only was Watson to take a reduction in his salary, but he would receive a one-time payment of $18,000. In today's numbers, this amount would be $392,111.25. Watson exercised stock options. Watson exercised this option to purchase 60,000 stock certificates. Watson was able to buy 40,000 stock certificates in one purchase. This was accomplished as using his $4,000 note as collateral. Doing this, Watson was able to secure all of his other debts. The remaining 20,000 stock certificates Watson was able to purchase for $2,000. He used these to deposit as collateral security for the payment of his note. These certificates, if the loan was in default or arrears, would be taken at face value and used toward the balance of the loan owed to Elk Horn Coal. Watson would die 3 years later on May 24, 1940. He would die with his debt to Elk Horn Coal unpaid. Of the $219,000 that was owed, Watson was able to pay the debt down to $85,825.50. In addition, the notes of $4,000 and $2,000 remained unpaid. The stock certificates remained in the hands of Elk Horn Coal. In next week's video, we will begin on the October 4th, 1949 suit that would be brought against Elk Horn Coal because it had defaulted on its loans. Thank you. We at Kentucky Tennessee Living would like to thank you for watching our video series on the scandals of the Consolidation Coal Company. Don't forget to hit that like button, as the more likes we receive, the more likely YouTube is to suggest our videos to other viewers. Also, to receive notice when we upload a new video, be sure to subscribe and click the bell notification buttons. We thank you for continuing to support Kentucky Tennessee Living as we are discovering the mysteries in Appalachian history.